All right, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Can I have some reverb?
Remember, Evan, they're always there in the good times and in the bad times. You know what I'm saying? They let you know what you're getting before you do what they ask you to do, and you know what I'm saying.
Doing a tribute to one of the most incredible records of our time is really something to be a part of.
Oh, baby, what you've done to me. You make me feel.
And I guess it's never too late to discover something beautiful, to discover Carole King. She's extraordinary.
Just go into another phone jack. Here we go.
City and I'll be there.
It was one of those things where you just remember exactly where you were and exactly what you were doing in your life when you heard the album for the first time. A guitar player friend of mine turned me onto the album. He said, sit down and listen to this because it's going to change your life.
Being songwriters ourselves, we had great respect for people like Carole and Jerry Goffin, who came out with these songs that inspired us to write, like the Beatles did, like Lennon and McCartney did, a lot of people around those days.
Bacharach and Hal David.
I wore that record out. I remember when it came out, all the girls in the class I was in, we just played it and played it and played it. I had the music at home, I played it on the piano. My favorite song, I think, is Will You Love Me Tomorrow? Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? Oh.
I couldn't help but hear this stuff. I grew up on this stuff. It was the stuff I heard driving around in my mother's car when I was a kid. This was very, the radio had more, I think, to do with my forming as a musician and as a songwriter than anything else.
I was born in '67, and that wasn't what I listened to growing up. But I was definitely aware of who Carole King was. And a lot of my songwriter friends are huge fans of hers, and I've become a very huge fan.
The thing that comes through in the Tapestry album, it's an honesty and a simplicity that's almost unmatched today. I don't think anybody's ever quite pushed that button that Carole pushed.
I got a call from Evan Lamberg and asked me if I wanted to be involved in the Carole King tribute album, and I said absolutely, from the very beginning. And he asked me who I thought I'd like to work with. My first choice was Amy because we were in the middle of the project working on her new album, and I thought it'd be great to be able to do it. The fact that it was Carole King, that's one of my favorites of all time. I admire her songwriting, I admire the quality, and it's just great songs. That's what songwriting's about. It's not, her writing wasn't defined by what drum groove she was writing with at the time or what technology was there or synthesizers. It's all just right off the piano. It's really great songwriting at its best.
Well, I walked in here today and Keith played me the track, and immediately I'm thrown back to my lime green room and white shag carpet as a child. And I remembered every lick and most of the lyrics. Carole King, her music was just my whole life, 6th grade, 7th grade. From then on, obviously I loved it, but I'm talking hours every day. I studied every lyric, every liner note. I tried to sing just like her. We took a break from recording, and I went in and called my 6th grade boyfriend, who was actually on a flight coming home from New Zealand, because I thought only Johnny will know what this means to me. But I had to find somebody that I knew very well back then to say, she was our idol, and I get to sing her song. I related on a real gut level to Carole because I felt that the reason people were drawn to her music was because she sang from her heart and she threw her soul into it. It's not that she had unbelievable chops, but she had a lot of heart. When I was a kid and I would sing, I just kept thinking, if you just lose yourself in it and throw yourself into the music, like the music that you loved as a kid, which was Carole King, and people will believe you. And that's really what it comes down to. So what a fabulous example she was to me.
Stayed in bed all morning just to pass the time. There's something wrong here, there can be no denying. One of us is changing, or maybe we just stop trying. And it's too late, baby, now it's too late. But we really did try to make it. Something inside is dying, and I can't hide, and I just can't fake it. Oh, no, no, no. It used to be so easy living here with you. You were light and breezy, and I knew just what to do. Now you look so unhappy, and I feel like a fool. And it's too late, baby, now it's too late. But we really did try to make it. Something inside is dying, and I can't hide, and I just can't fake it. Oh, no, no. There'll be good times again for me and you, but we just can't stay together. Don't you feel it too? Still, I'm glad for what we had and how I once loved you. But it's too late, baby, now it's too late. But we really did try to make it. Something inside is dying, and I can't hide, and I just can't fake it. Oh, no, 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 no.
My parents bought the Tapestry album, and so I heard it a lot when I was a kid. You know, you've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face. So while we were listening to the album, my wife and I, and Beautiful came on, and she went, "You got to do that one." And I went, "I don't know." There were a couple of songs that I just felt I didn't have a feel for lyrically, because I think some of the lyrics on her album really have a strong female point of view. You know, a lot of Carole King's songs have that. And my wife just kind of challenged me. She said, "You could make something cool out of that. You could give it a groove, and you could turn it into something cool." And it was like, you know, I couldn't say no anymore, because she challenged me. My wife Cynthia challenged me. So I've never done anybody else's song before. So I had to really live with the song enough to try and make it my own, and try and make it fresh, and change a couple of things about it while, you know, staying true to the nucleus of the song. The chord changes were pretty hip. I mean, they were pretty interesting. I worked with it a lot, and I got great musicians to come and kind of play out some of the ideas that I had for it. And my engineer, Bill Drescher's, my right hand in the studio. He gets things to sound the way I want them to sound. It's really a huge amount of teamwork. I come up with a real specific arrangement of what I want, and I go to each player and I go, okay, I think the guitar should play this and the bass should play this. When you get my ideas in the hands of great musicians, what they bring to it makes it cool. They make my kind of silly ideas sound great.
You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. Waiting at the station with the workday wind blowing, I've got nothing to do but watch the passers-by. Mirrored in their faces, I see frustration growing, and they don't see it showing. Why do I? You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. People gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. Myself the reason for the sadness in a world where tears are just a lullaby. If there's any answer, maybe love can end the madness. Maybe not, but we can only try. Yeah, yeah. You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful, beautiful. You're beautiful, beautiful as you feel.
What I really respect and admire is longevity and the people that continue to make good records. It's those songs, those rare songs that strike a chord with, a mass of people, and then continue to, span generations. I mean, you can't really, just because somebody has a million-selling single or a #1 record for 5 weeks doesn't necessarily mean that anybody's going to remember that song in 3 years, or that that audience's kids are going to get off on it. But there are those songs, and Carole King's, written not just one, but several of them, that, my parents bought the Tapestry album, and here I am playing this. I'm going to be playing this album for my kids. So there you go. There's, 3 generations right there.
We
felt really privileged to be on this album because it's a real honour for us to be on the same album as such prestigious artists like Aretha Franklin and BB and stuff, especially for this one over here because she absolutely loves them, and Bernie, they grew up listening to gospel music, and the song that we did was cool too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I Feel the Earth Move.
Yeah.
Carole King has written so many great hits. We were listening to BB do one of her great songs, You Got a Friend, and Aretha Franklin and Cece. It's absolutely fabulous to hear everyone tribute her with songs that you hear all the time, but you never knew one writer actually wrote all of them, which, you know...
It's good to go up there and show respect to such a good singer and songwriter, and that's what, you know, lacks in some of the business. You don't actually give a person a pat on the back and say, you know, you've done really well and this is just for you. So, you know, it's special. This album's very special.
To be here with such artists that have been through so many generations, and also her music.
Great song has got to be not only the melody, but it's the words as well. They've all got to have meaning. The melody's not got to be something short and vibey. It's got to be something that you can take it anywhere. Anyone can sing it, and it's still a great song. I think that's what makes a song last through generation to generation.
That was the main twist, was to make it leap almost 25 years into the 90s and still be a fabulous song.
I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down. I feel my heart starts trembling whenever you're around. Whenever you're around. Baby, when you're around.
I was fortunate enough to write 3 of the songs on the album. 2 of them were old hits, and I'm lucky they got on the album. I mean, I look at it as Carol's album, but Smackwater Jack was the only original song I wrote for it. And I'm the lyricist. I write the words.
By the 50s and 60s, the songwriters were really like working with the artists and the record producers. It was all happening in the mind at once.
Carol's very bright. She believed in herself. And we had this innocence we wrote into our songs, and that probably was a major reason why they were so successful. Carol and I were married. Most of the time, Carol would come up with the first few lines of melody. I was always over-exuberant while she was the master, and we used to fight about the direction a song should go. Looking back, if I left her to her own devices, we might have had more hits.
Carole King, Jerry Goffin, Jeff Barry, Ellie Greenwich, Doc Pomus, Mort Schumann, even Neil Sedaka, all those people that were working in the Brill Building at that time got into the idea of thinking of hooks.
We didn't write in the Brill Building, we wrote in 1650 Broadway. It was similar to the Brill Building. They had writers' rooms. You know, sometimes Carol and I would come and write there. They didn't require you to write there. We wrote in a writer's room at home.
What makes a song a timeless song is basically the hook. If it's something that you just hear once and it just sticks with you.
I mean, I didn't know how good Carol really was then. Now I can see, you know. But until we had a hit, here I was, you know, with a job that paid $75 a week, and she was making $75 a week, and we have a kid on the way, and I thought, oh, the dirge, you know, and we're writing crummy songs, we can't get anything recorded, you know, it's all over, and then Wheel of Me Tomorrow came along. The record came out. Danny Kirshner, who was a great publisher, gave us each an advance of $10,000. I remember Carol going through the whole, Jerry, you don't have to work anymore. Before the Beatles and Dylan and the Rolling Stones, we had 80 chart records in the space of 5 years.
What's important to say about Carol and indeed Jerry Goffin is that they wrote real songs. I mean, there was something you could get your teeth into. They were actually emotional songs.
Great melodies, yeah.
She's one of the best melody writers of the second half of the century, I think.
I think the real test is now to look back at her songs and see that they stand up. Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? People are still wondering that.
Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? Take 1.
Tonight with words unspoken, you say now I'm the only you're mine completely. You gave your love so sweetly. Tonight, the light of love is in your eyes. Will you love me tomorrow? Is this a last treasure? Or just a moment of pleasure? Can I believe a man Be sure I'm so tell me now, and oh baby, will you still love me tomorrow? Will you still love me tomorrow? Will you still love me oh, baby, will you still love me? Will you still need me? In the night, I'll be there. Will you still I'll be there. You still need me.
I'm sorry, I had a flashback.
That was
on
the
the pants.
60s.
Yes, it was a 70s flashback, which is really strange.
Actually, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow was actually also before.
Oh, long before.
1970, but it was on the Tapestry album in 1971.
And I don't know where that song came from, judging by the songs we wrote previously, but it was certainly an elevation of our writing, you know. It's almost like it came from out there somewhere.
I've talked to enough songwriters to know that I think what I say is pretty true, and that is that the best songs, the best material comes through you and not from you.
Really, there's no mystical way of writing songs. You just sit around with a guitar. I'm sure Carol does the same at the piano. You either have a lyrical idea or a title for a song or a theme, and you try and thread the two together. You know, they really just fall out of the sky, as many songwriters have said. That's the way it happens. They just fall on your head.
LA is a great workshop. It is the entertainment capital of the world, and that was where the action was, so to speak. It had moved from New York. If we would have stayed married, we would have moved to California. Carol was influenced a whole lot by James Taylor. James played guitar, Carol played piano. Their music is not very similar, but she was influenced by that light rock and roll that James got into.
I don't know the details of how Carol came up with this record, but I suspect that her whole life was building towards Tapestry.
I think it was written at a time where there were a lot of grays around, you know. Everything was open to interpretation as opposed to a specific type of love song.
My life has been a tapestry of rich and royal hue, an everlasting vision of the ever-changing view, a wondrous woven magic in bits of blue and gold, a tapestry to feel and see, impossible to hold. Once amid the soft silver sadness in the sky, there came a man of fortune, a drifter passing by. He wore a torn and tattered cloth around his leather hide, and a coat of many colors, yellow, green on either side. He moved with some uncertainty, as if he didn't know just what he was there for, or where he ought to go. Once he reached for something golden hanging from a tree, and his hand came down empty. Soon within my tapestry, along the muddy road, he sat down on a river rock and turned into a toad. It seemed that he had fallen into someone's wicked spell, and I wept to see him suffer, though I didn't know him well. As I watched him sorrow, there suddenly appeared a figure gray and ghostly beneath the flowing beard. In times of deepest darkness, I've seen him dressed in black. Now my tapestry's unraveling. He's come to take me back. He's come to take me back.
Right now, we just finished recording Tapestry, the title track from the Carole King album, Tapestry.
When she did the song, her version was basically piano, and our version has piano and strings and drums and 4 guys singing instead of 1 lady.
You know, and I think the Tapestry album was, if you like, the climax of what she was writing in those days, if you like. And she sort of outdid herself. It was just that the songs were just incredible. And so
I think it's a very simple album as well, because the production was very lean.
Reserved. Well, it's funny because on Tapestry, a lot of the songs almost do sound like, they are reminiscent of the demos that we used to hear back in the 70s when we were looking for hit songs, because they were recorded in such a simple way. You know, Lou Adler, the producer, was very earthy, and that's, I'm sure he, you know, agreed with Carole on the direction of the album, that it should be simple and very earthy and almost demo-like.
And Carole used to make the demos on the majority of our songs. Sometimes we had a black singer come in if it was for a black artist, but that was the exception rather than the rule. And what he did was make Tapestry the way Carole made demos.
A lot of Jerry Goffin and Carole King songs were there's an innocence about them, and there's an innocence about young people and being in love, and in that way I think it related to us very strongly, because I mean we were always in love. I mean, well, I in particular
we didn't have any girlfriends.
I didn't have any girlfriends.
We were just always in love.
I was always in love.
There are very few like her, and she really captures, you know, an event or sort of like a snapshot of America.
1971, when Tapestry came out, same year as Rod Stewart's Every Picture Tells a Story came out. I've always recorded covers, you know, as well as my own material. You know, on the first couple of albums I recorded, I did, you know, 30% of covers, so it's second nature to me. I quite enjoy it.
The Rod Stewart song, So Far Away, was another song that I loved from the album. And I immediately visualized his voice singing that song.
It's slow and it's romantic, and I suppose it's got something to do with being, you know, if you are spending a lot of time on the road, it's relevant to musicians, I do think.
So far away, doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It will be so fine to see your face at my door, and it doesn't help to know that you're just time away. Long ago I reached for you, and there you stood. Holding you again could only do me good. Oh, how I wish I could, but you're so far away. Yeah. One more song about moving along the highway. I can't say much of anything that's new, but if I could only work this life out my way, I'd rather spend it being close to you. But you're so far away, doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It will be so fine to see your face at my door, and it doesn't help to know you're so far away, so far away. Yeah, you're so far away. Oh yeah, yeah. Traveling around sure gets me down and lonely. Nothing else to do but close my mind, and I sure hope the road don't get to own me. There's so many dreams that I've yet to find, but you're so far away, doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It will be so fine to see your face at my door, and it doesn't help to know you're so far away. You're so far away. Ooh, you're so far away. You're so far away. Oh, I need to get in touch with you, baby. You're so very, very, very far away. Oh, you're so, so far away.
Female singers were successful, but not that successful. And she showed the recording industry that if you have a great pop songs and great lyrics, great melodies, at the same time accessible and commercial, which most of these songs are, you can have a mega selling album, and she did it. Before her, you had like Joan Baez and great singers, but the record sales weren't that big. In fact, right after that, I worked with Judy Collins and Carly Simon, and I think Carole really paved the way.
Carole King was one of the first female songwriters that I became aware of, because I was into pop music. That's what I was into, and I was writing myself. So she was a role model for me.
Carole King was a very big role model in 1971 for women. For the first time in a long time, she was singing to the soul.
A lot of the songs had a woman's point of view. Yeah. I think that's what's important to remember.
You can relate to them. You know, I mean, I remember Might As Well Rain Till September, and a lot of women used to love that song. So, I mean, I think she just, you know, brought out something in the ladies that
But I was never under that impression. I always thought that it was an album for anybody who liked music, so I didn't think it necessarily just applied to women.
Yeah.
This is a song that was made popular in the U.S. and maybe here by Aretha Franklin. Looking out on the morning rain.
The song Natural Woman was written specifically for Aretha Franklin.
I'm coming out of this oyster bar in New York, and Jerry Wexler in his limo pulls up, says, "I got a great title for you, Natural Woman. How do you like that title?" I said, "It's a great title. I'll go home and I'll write a song with Carole." You know, a few days later, we come and play the song for Jerry. He says, "Well, that's not the way I would have written it," but he says, "We'll do it anyway." You know, and it took about a year before the record was finished. It's a classic record. You know, so many things just happen by chance.
Your love was the key to my peace of mind, 'cause you make
David Foster called me and he said, "I'm going to copy your strings because I love it. It's a part of the arrangement." I said, "I think so. It's part of the arrangement, but Ralph Burns wrote the strings."
That record that we made is one of my favorite records that I've ever made on anybody, with anybody, the Natural Woman song. I think we really caught a moment in time too, just like Carole did 25 years ago.
I like it because he kept the original feeling. And of course, Celine is a fabulous singer, so she made the song natural.
Keeping in mind that we had the shadow of AF over us, Aretha Franklin, who like destroyed that tune. She killed it so badly and did such a great record.
Right now I'm in New York. I'm recording Natural Woman with Umberto Getzica, who's mixing the whole thing, makes everything sounds great. And David Foster is in Los Angeles, recording in LA.
Was that fine for you?
A lot of great stuff. We need to pick up a few more lines.
Technology is pretty straightforward. It's using the phone lines. I send the music to her. There's a delay, a built-in delay. You probably heard the little, 400 millisecond delay.
Do you want to move on to the bridge?
She basically sang the song. I directed her just as though she was in the next room. All the vocals were sent back to me over the phone lines. I got them all on the 48 track. I said, "Thank you very much." You guys went off and did your interview, and I took the 8 tracks of vocals and put it together the way I would if she had been in the next room.
A year and a half ago, I saw a special of Carole King, and it was the first. I have never seen her live in person, but I saw that show on TV, and it was a live show.
I didn't know just what was wrong with me, just what was wrong to your kiss. Help me name it. Now I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for. 'Cause if I make you happy, I don't need to do more.
And she sang Natural Woman. She sang a lot of songs, and I was just amazed that she wrote all those fabulous, extraordinary songs. So a little while ago, when David asked me to be part of the Tapestry album, I said, I didn't even think about it. I wanted to be part of it. And he asked me to sing Natural Woman. I said, Natural Woman? Of course I want to sing Natural Woman. And I want to do that song with my own feeling. And I think this is very important. I don't want nobody to say, she did that song and look, she's trying to do like her, or she sounds like that singer, or no, I'm trying to feel the song the way I'm feeling it, closing my eyes, and I want to become the character of the song.
Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel uninspired. And when I knew I had to face another day, oh, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind, but you're the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. When my soul was in the lost and found, you came along to claim it, and I didn't know just what was wrong with me. Oh, till your kiss helped me name it. Now I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for, 'cause if I make you happy, I don't need to do more. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. Oh, baby, what you've done to me, what you've done to me, you make me feel so good inside.
So I don't know, maybe just the fact that I'm very much in love and I'm going to get married soon, that it just feels very strong. Feels kind of that song grows in me right now. It's part of me.